Welcome to Grand Rock Warehouse, and tonight we are live. I want to welcome Eric Hansen and DC Toontime back to the show. We are going to tackle our top 10 tracks from the band America. The chat is open. We want to hear from you. Let's get started.
Grant is changing the world one track at a time on Grant Rock Warehouse.
One track at a time, not two tracks, one at a time. But tonight we're going to look at a lot of tracks.
Yes, sir.
We are looking at the band America. Now, I forget how this came. Was this you, DC? Was this you, Eric? One of you guys.
We had a post-show conversation between the three of us, and we came up with wanting to do Kenny Loggins and also America.
That's how this show works, people. I don't do very much. I just host.
It's the collaborative.
It's the collaborative unit.
That's
so anyway,
right.
I want to welcome Eric and DC here tonight. We are going to talk America. We're going to talk our top 10 tracks. I'm pretty much doing color commentary tonight because although I know America, they were never really that much in the wheelhouse. And in the warehouse, it's really about the guests. I'm Merv Griffin. I'm Phil Donahue. You're
the Letterman of this.
I'm the Letterman of this enterprise. Yep. I just carry the name. Just a show. But I've been listening to this stuff and I tried to rank it, and I swear to God I couldn't rank it because they're at least the songs that I really know, a lot of the greatest hit stuff. God darn, if it's not just great stuff.
Oh, you will run into some walls because these guys were much more than their hits, and they took some diversions musically that if you don't know anything other than their hits will be quite surprising to some.
I was listening to some other ones, some of the later catalog. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of people, we were kind of talking about this before we started. A lot of people don't, Eric's going, well, I'm not that familiar with a lot of that later stuff. And I think a lot of people probably don't even realize that America's really, DC, you said that they put out an album recently.
Well, okay. The last album they put out was, oh God, it's like maybe 2016 or 17.
Yeah, that's fairly recent.
Oh yeah, and it's produced by Adam Schlesinger of Fountains of Wayne and James Ehoff from the Smashing Pumpkins, and it's still got that core America sound, but they updated some things, and it really is a great album. So if you're really familiar with the hits, we'll be throwing stuff at you folks out here if you want to take the deep dive. At least I got some things in the works.
So a little bit of brief bio. Formed in 1970 in London. Dewey Bunnell, Dan Peake, who left in 1977, and Gary Beckley formed the band. And George Martin was producer for a lot of that stuff. Now, I don't know exactly when they didn't use George anymore, but I think George, kind of like the Beatles, I think George is from what I listened to in that George Martin production, I think some of that stuff, I think was very important to the sound of America. I do believe.
All those little touches. And he did play, when you hear piano on a lot of these America tunes of that era, that's George playing the piano on the recordings. So he took very much more than just a casual interest in this band. So
So, but they still continued on as a duo after Peake left in 77. And they had some hits like in the 80s. Well, we're gonna get there.
Don't worry, folks.
Don't worry.
Never at all.
I'm not. I ain't worried. So we're gonna go 5 and 5. I'm gonna play color commentary. I'm gonna start out with Eric. What are your first 5 picks? And let's hear it. Well, we know what your first pick is, but go ahead and talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, Don't Cross the River. And it's weird. Outside of my top 3 guys, these are just on my list. I didn't consider.
It's hard to rank.
It's tough to rank them. Yeah. So, but yeah, Don't Cross the River. So I always thought America was a good mix of the Eagles, Little Bread, Little River Band, maybe a little splash of Crosby, Stills, Nash, Neil Young type of thing in there, But Don't Cross the River, very much in the camp of Eagles or even Poco. with its acoustic guitar, the banjo, of course, their great vocal harmonies. This one was written by Dan Peek. It's off their second record, as you guys can see there. And one other thing I noticed about these guys, they're all three of their voices separately are very distinct, but they blend so well together. It's like Stephen Stills, David Crosby, and Graham Nash. Very similar setup. So.
I hear this stuff. I'm going to be jumping in. You know how I do this. I jump in all the time. I do hear a lot of Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young in here. A lot. But think about the time that they were out. Think how big Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young were. I mean, 1970, 69. It was really something. I think they influenced a lot of people. And I do hear a lot of that. Now, I think America sounds totally like America. These three vocalists are so distinct. It sounds like America, but I can see where they would take tendencies from, CSN and Y. But, listen to this. There's a couple of YouTube videos like from, I don't know, early 70s when they were on European TV shows. And they, each one has a different vocal. Man, check that out.
Yeah.
Beat Club. It might be on Beat Club or something. But
it was like old Gray Whistle Test. A lot of those type of shows.
Yeah. Almost like their version of like Midnight Special type of kind of sort of.
D-Rocker, we will do that for you. We will do the Guess Who Top 10.
Oh, yeah.
D-Rocker's going to come up in my prelude to my first 5 presentations because me and him have been going back and forth a little bit about this.
BM Bolt's just trying to stir the pot. America is still great. Yes, it is.
Bernie says, no politics.
I know. That's a bold statement. Anyway, there you go. What's your next pick, Eric? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. So my number 10. My number 9, I'm going to go with Woman Tonight. So this is the band showcasing a little reggae or maybe Caribbean meets funk. I dig this one because you'll notice it a little bit more in their later catalog, but it's a little bit off the beaten path for them. Yes. It's not a long song whatsoever. It's simple to the point. Great catchy chorus. From their 75 album, Hearts. Dan Peek wrote this one. Love the bass guitar work by David Dickey from the band on this also.
There's lots of I'm glad you brought that up because there's a lot of great bass through their albums. And I'm not sure if it's the same guy all the way through, but the bass lines are so solid and integral to how they pull off a lot of these tunes.
Similar, because you mentioned that about Kenny Loggins' show too, about the bass guitar.
Yes, the bass is very predominant. And I know Bernie was going to flip out if someone mentioned Muskrat Love, but I listened to that several times today, and the bass on there very predominant. Yeah, and it's a 6-string bass. It's not just a regular bass. But sounds like a Fender 6 or maybe a Dan Electra 6-string bass, but it's very predominant and very tasty. So, you might think, oh, Muskrat Love, Captain and Tennille, my goodness.
There may be a
great.
There may be a diatribe on that tune later on, just maybe.
Maybe. Just beware. Beware, Bernie. Could happen. All right. You're up, Eric. Keep going.
Oh, sorry. Number 9. So my number 8, I'm going to go to the 1974 album Holiday for Lonely People. So, this one, number 5 on the Billboard. We mentioned George Martin earlier. He helped arrange the song, played piano on it. Fun fact about this one, this is actually the band's response to the Beatles song Eleanor Rigby, which is a song about shocking people who are lonely. So Dan Peek, actually being a Christian, and when he went off into his solo career in the Christian contemporary market, he basically wanted a response to Eleanor Rigby, and his song here, Lonely People, is about, seeking God and love with family and friends. So He actually re-recorded it, I think, on one of his later solo albums. So, yeah. But I love this song. It's a great song.
Great song.
Yeah.
100%.
So,
D Rocker's coming, and his number 8's Winter Holidays. I don't think anybody picked that.
More on that in a bit.
Maybe we did pick that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
DC.
All right, keep going.
All right, my next pick here. This is my number. This is their fourth one here. My first 5 from the 1975 album Hearts. I'm gonna go with Daisy Jane.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I was listening to that today.
Yeah. Beckley, Gary Beckley. Song number 20 on the Billboard. A melancholy. Learn how to talk, Eric. Melancholy type of song with its violin and the cello in there. It's just a great soft rock song that it actually features one of my favorite choruses in any of their songs. It's simple to the point. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Love it. So it's So
that might be my number 1. I'm not ranking them, but I kept playing this over and over over again.
Quick song too. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't get it out of my head. Play it some more, I guess.
Right.
The 80s cruise will wash that song out of your head.
Yeah, like on the first night of the 80s cruise.
Yeah.
What's in store for that day? Honeymoon Suite's playing.
Oh,
and who else is playing? Who else is playing that day?
Soft Cell?
No, that was last year.
Thompson Twins?
No. God, I knew who was playing. I'll have to look that up, but I do know Honeymoon Suite's playing, so I'll be all worked up. Oh, Naked Eyes are playing. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Eric, what number was that?
So, this is the last of my first 5 here. I'm going to go with Sandman.
Oh, man.
Written and sung lead by Dewey Bunnell. So all 3 founding members, their dads were American servicemen. So this song was actually based on stories that Dewey would hear from some of the vets. The Sandman obviously talking about sleep, and one of the things that he would hear that they feared because, as a serviceman, you want to be alert and you want to be aware. So the song almost has like a healing quality to it and like an unspoken connection from some of the servicemen and everything to each other. So it's off their 1972 album. Grant put up there. And really, as the song keeps going, it almost has, to me, a little bit of a Zeppelin vibe going to it as the song kind of fades out. But great song. So that's my first 5.
Everybody knows that the original album, though, it came out in 71, but then they added Horse with No Name in 72.
Yeah.
And added that track to it. And you know that Sandman influenced Metallica on the Black Album.
Oh.
It's the same chord progression as Enter Sandman. Did you know that?
No.
I did not know that. Did you know that, DC?
I did not. Here's a fun fact for y'all.
You distort the American version. It sounds just like it.
Because I think Metallica's song Enter Sandman, I think has to do with some of the vets and everything too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Well, that's the song. Isn't the one song off of the song One is off that
definitely wartime. Yeah,
wartime kind of crap. Yeah. Anyway, no, it has nothing to do with it. I'm just saying that.
I had a feeling.
I'm just trying to impress. I'm trying to impress people. Anyway, DC, excellent choices, Eric. For God's sake,
very good.
Throw
Eric.
it over to DC. See what he's got.
All right. Well, let's set the stage here with DC and America before I start my picks.
Okay. Did you wait a minute? Set the stage, kind of like playing the Carpenters and Brad back in the day. Did you play any America when you were making your movie?
No, because my girlfriend most of the time in high school only had 3 albums. Carpenters, Brad, and 3 Dog Night. So
all right.
The mood setters were regaled to those 3 musical entities. Anyway,
yes.
This group is an all-time favorite of mine. And as I always say, on my 10,000 song iPod, there are 98 songs by America, but it doesn't cover, it's not counting songs that have their cover songs or live material. So well over 100 of tunes that I love. Also, D-Rocker and I have been going back and forth about this show tonight. And I told him I would bring this up because I have brought it up on Schnee's Christmas shows.
Oh.
If you like Christmas music, you got to get this America album. It is fantastic.
Throw it up there again.
It's called Holiday Harmony. And it's become one of my all-time favorite Christmas albums. It mixes secular standards. They do a few originals, and they got a couple of religious tunes thrown in there for good measure. And it includes my now favorite version of Sleigh Ride, and that baby swings. It is a toe tapper, if you will.
Oh my.
And if you listen closely to a lot of the songs on this album, they work little musical bits from all their hits in the Christmas songs. And as you're listening, you're thinking, oh, wait a minute, that's from Tin Man or something like that. And it's just a really great listen. And like I say, one of my favorite Christmas albums now.
There you go.
There you go, D-Rocker. I told you I wouldn't let you down.
Does that Christmas album feature all three guys, or was it after?
Well,
no,
they are down. They are down to a duo at this point.
Okay.
I think this came out it's 2002.
Okay.
But it's a staple of my Christmas listening catalog.
See, you've really missed out back in the day, DC, because Al said the Best of Bread was the Make Out album back then.
Oh, well, like I said, I did have that, but she only had the album Baby I'ma Want You.
I'm just
and it worked. No complaints.
She wanted
David Gates can write a love song.
If I met David Gates, I'd give him a big old hug and a pat on the back. Thank you, sir.
There you go. All right.
Now,
take it away, DC.
On to my picks. And as always with groups or artists that I really love, many of these songs will just represent a category of songs to give my best overview of why this group is so special to me. My first, or number 10, and these are not ranked in any order, from my favorite America album, which is Holiday, which is a Stone Cold 10, the same as Celebrate Me Home is a Stone Cold 10 for Kenny Loggins. And as Grant said, it's produced by George Martin.
Yes, sir.
It's the song, What Does It Matter?
Oh.
And America does have a signature style, but they created a lot outside the box. And if you're only familiar with their hits, these guys went off in a lot of very interesting direction. Surprise, surprise. This tune is vaudeville tinged. Did someone say vaudeville? Dick, that's kind of rude. Sorry, folks. I get a little carried away with the vaudeville. Dun-dun-dun. Anyway, how perfect for George Martin to produce this album and that tune, because he worked a lot of magic on all those McCartney tunes that were dance hall, or as Lennon called them, granny music. So it's just different. And there's also an accordion on it. So there you go. Don't say these guys just stuck to one thing and wrote it out that way. DC is the pipe layer. What the?
You know what that is. You know what that means, baby.
Now,
it's a family show.
Family show. Please, let's keep this PG-13, shall we? Okay, my next pick. And sticking with that very same Holiday album, let's pick one of their massive hits. And it's Tin Man, written and sung by Dewey Bunnell. And this is just a tour de force musically, vocally, and lyrically. The background vocals, chef's kiss. This is written about Bunnell's favorite movie, The Wizard of Oz. And throughout there, the instrumentation, there's that memorable piano refrain, and that's played by George Martin as well. And if you listen to it and go to the Rolodex of your mind, you can remember that it's like a little cadency thing at the end of it. Just a nice little touch that George adds to so many of these songs. And again, we get with America, the grammar Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man, and America a lot broke with proper grammar. They were real rebels, weren't they?
Hey, it was the early 70s, DC.
Hey, believe me, I lived it. And you
That's
got
right.
major seventh chords going on here that laid the groundwork and the mood for this tune. Again, my third pick, also from Holiday.
Look at this.
I was almost going to go with Another Try, but I settled on Old Man Took. And both of these songs are reflective little slices of life, little vignettes that this band was so good at creating. Again, George Martin adds all the right touches and extras to put this one over the top. You get strings, you get flugelhorn. This is another Bunnell number about an older friend and the wisdom he imparts before he passes. And it's just like me and the gems of thought I try to impart to all you youngsters here.
Like young Logan.
Like young Logan, for example.
Shaping his world.
Yeah. Really just about, like I said, just about every track on this Holiday album is a favorite of mine. Let's see. Oh, we're up to my fourth pick. The next category of songs I will pick is from the Special Lady category. And Eric already brought up Sister Golden Hair. And I was going to go that or Daisy Jane. But then I love both of those songs. But I decided to give a little shine to a lesser known lady-centric number with Sarah from Harbor. This is written and sung by Gary Beckley. It's a piano-based ballad. Again, flugelhorn and strings, adding just the right flourish. Beautiful background vocals. This song gives me goosebumps if I'm in the right frame of mind. And really, of all the arts, only music can do that. I don't look at a painting and get goosebumps. It's just the music. It's so special that way. Mwah.
Mwah.
All
doesn't
right.
Doesn't this album cover look like Love Beach?
Yes. All you need to do is have the three fellas there in the bottom right-hand corner with their shirts unbuttoned.
Why didn't America stand on the cover with their shirts unbuttoned?
It's not their jam, not the way they want to present themselves.
Yeah,
It does
Grand Funk Railroad in Orleans took care of the shirtless.
Stephen,
yes, they had that all covered.
Stephen, where have you been? We were holding up the show for you, but we couldn't wait any longer.
We can't wait any longer. The folks want to get this show on the road.
We waited.
we waited. Okay, my last tune of this go round. Another side of America is that carefree feeling of summer and the open roads. And no song in their catalog encompasses this better than their massive hit from Homecoming, Ventura Highway. This may be my favorite American tune if I have to pick one as my favorite. This is written by Bunnell, and it reached number 8 on the Billboard charts in 1972. How about that iconic acoustic guitar riff that leads everything off?
Yeah.
Again, with the grammar or the odd phrasing, alligator lizards in the air. And I doing a little research. It was
know what that is.
Yeah. Well, but no, not the stuff that Dick Smallwood likes to toke on while he's listening to psychedelic stuff.
That's a drug
It's
reference.
actually Bunnell. They were all Air Force brats. All three of these guys in America used to live in California. And he and his brother, as they were cruising, they would look at clouds and try and see formations. And that's what that references alligator lizards.
That's about the LSD.
Well, I'm trying to give these fellas a break because they seem like very nice young fellas. Not into the drugs.
I don't know what it's about. I have no idea.
But like I say, if someone had a gun to my head and say, give me your favorite American tune, I think Ventura Highway encompasses all the very best of the best of what these guys were all about. So there's my first 5.
So Webb, Hal Blaine's playing drums on this record? Probably, maybe. I wouldn't doubt it. D Rocker's going, his number 6 is Lonely People.
Okay. He shares a pick there with Eric.
Yep.
Steven's saying hello. Steven, hello.
Hello, Steven.
Ooh, look at Cretan with trying to be cool with that money
with the
sign.
dollar sign.
God, he's always so suave. All right, cool. Was that your 5?
That was my first 5.
Okay, go. We're gonna throw it over to Eric. Eric, what's your next 5?
All right. So I'm gonna go to the debut self-titled album, 72. Number 1. The song went number 1 in the US, 1 in Canada, 1 in Finland.
Ooh.
A Horse with No Name.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
See, I put 1971,
71,
1972
72,
because
yeah.
it came out.
So the song was originally titled "The Desert Song," written by Dewey Bunnell, who sang the lead on this. The horse in the song represents a place of calm, and the desert is that tranquil location. Is this the most recognizable America song? Maybe, but every time I turn on the radio, it's like this one's always on. So
I would agree.
It's vintage America. What can I say? It's a classic.
Yeah.
Love it.
100%.
Love it. All right, so my next one here, I am gonna go. This song is written by Russ Ballard, who also wrote the song "I Know There's Something Going On" by Frida, who of course we know is from ABBA. I'm gonna go with "You Can Do Magic."
Oh, one of my top.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, Dan Peake, he already's gone at this point, doing his solo stuff, but it's off, the album "View from the Ground." Gary Beckley sings Gary Beckley sings the lead. Reached number 8 on the Billboard. Here's a classic example of how you can relate a song to something. I was young when this came out, and the movie E.T. was big. It was everywhere.
E.T. I think came out 82. I think
82. So this song I always relate. They have nothing to do with either each other, but I always relate the song to E.T. And it's funny, since I watched that movie in the movie theater, I've probably only seen that movie maybe 4 times since.
Really?
I still like it. It's just one of those things that just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. But
Right.
Every time I listen to this song, a very Little River Band type vibe to it. I can picture Little River Band doing this song.
I could see that too. Maybe a little bit later, Little River Band, like 78, 79.
78, yeah, hitting the 80s right before
I could
Parliament.
see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. And I do believe this album came out on Capitol. They were signed to Capitol at this point.
Yes.
I
This was
just
like their
remember
last really big hit.
Yeah, I remember when they used to play this like on where I came from, we didn't have MTV, but we had like Friday night videos, we had Night Flight, we had, WTBS used to play videos at night. And I remember that they used to play this. And I think Gary was playing a Rickenbacker 12 string on it. And then I was all, look, he's playing a Rickenbacker. And I was all worked up about it. But it made a big impression, because seriously, they hadn't had a hit for a while by the time this came out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think this is when the America story ended, but au contraire.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Their massive popularity. Yeah, this is pretty much where it ended.
Right.
You Can Do Magic was a pretty big hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, number 8. It went to you. I mean, that's pretty good. So
and I like the album cover because I think what are those? They're just sitting out in the field, and I think aren't those chairs out of a plane or something?
Mm-hmm. They look like those airliner recliners,
seats or whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, great track. Anyway, all right. Sorry, Eric. Keep going.
Well, my next one, DC just mentioned from the Homecoming album, Ventura Highway.
Yeah.
Geez, another one that went to number 8. Bunnell's dad, DC mentioned they were in California at the time, and he talked about the alligator lizards and all that stuff. This is a song that you roll down the windows to in your car. And really, I think it should be mandatory. If you own a car and it's a spring or summer day, not a cloud in the sky, you have to jam this song. I think it's
perfect for just cruising and taking a nice drive, whether you're in California or not. Yeah. Oh, Grant! Whoa.
Right.
Maybe even Dick Smallwood could take a little road trip and choke on your doobies.
I'm pure.
And you're right. That beginning acoustic
riff is
to
just
start the song is just fantastic. Man, it just hooks
Fantastic.
you right away. Yeah, love it. Love that
it.
song. All right,
All right.
next up, I am going to go with 1974 holiday record, Tin Man.
Oh, there you go.
Number 4, all the way on the U.S. charts. Dewey Bunnell takes the lead vocal on this very jazzy at times sounding song. Again, DC kind of touched on this. Actually, Beckley and Peake loved the song because Dewey had written it, and they almost kind of convinced him, "Hey, let's record this. We're into this. Let's put this down on tape here." So it was originally supposed to be, you mentioned about the Wizard of Oz, and the more I listen to lyrics, sometimes it's like, man, some serious psychedelic 60s stuff going on in these lyrics here. But it's such a great melody, great harmonies by the three of them. I mean, how many vocal groups were in the 70s that were just, Hall & Oates, Loggins and Messina, Firefall, Orleans.
Yeah, I miss that so much because harmony vocals are like one of my top of the mountain aspects of music that I love.
And how many of these albums did these bands put out albums wearing no shirts? That's the real question.
I think that was, I don't know if that was in their
Orleans.
That Orleans album is like, what the?
Yeah.
America, hats off to them. They kept their shirts on.
It was just the early 70s, and people looked at those records and just thought, oh, no shirts. Yeah. It's the way it is. D-Rock, wait a minute. D-Rocker's coming in number 5. Hot and heavy. Horse with no name. All right, D-Rocker.
D-Rocker and Eric are running kind of parallel. A lot of
I'm
choices.
the people pleaser with throwing out the hits at everybody here.
I think someone copied off of someone else's
paper.
Right.
I don't know.
All
right, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead, sir.
All right, my last pick here. Another shocker. This is another hit. Sister Golden Hair. From the Hearts album. This is their second number 1 single. Apparently, this song, and doing a little research, was actually motivated by the Jackson Browne catalog and how he helped craft music, or songs, I should say.
I could see that.
Produced by George Martin. Gary Beckley wrote it, sang it. A melodic soft rock masterpiece. Features the acoustic guitar, those warm harmonies, that infectious melody. Classic America right here. Sister Golden.
Agreed.
There's some great stuff on this record.
Yeah, that's a good album.
I think that there's great stuff on all these records.
Except for that Russ Ballard one. I mean, when you get past the Magic single, if my memory serves me correctly, I'm not too crazy about the tunes on that album. And I think he wrote just about all of them. Didn't he? Yeah. That's about the only one I'm not too crazy about album-wise. The rest of them all got more than a few fantastic tunes on them.
Did that ever come out on CD? I mean, did Hearts ever come out on CD? I don't ever remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I got rid of my singles.
I was going to say, is it part of that?
I'm looking.
I got rid of my single copies for these.
Yeah.
It had to come out on CD, but man, I don't ever remember ever seeing it. If I see any, okay. Oh, okay. This is why you haven't seen it. It came out on collectibles. It never got a Warner Brothers CD release. It came out on collectibles. It came out in Japan in 1991. Came out in Germany in 96, but that's why I've never seen it. It's not like you see collectible stuff out in the bins all the time.
So you were only able to get this like on import?
You could get it as a Warner Brothers import from Japan.
Wow.
Or you could get a used one on collectibles. It came out. Oh, it's not cheap. It's $30.
Jeez.
But wouldn't you have thought that this was a pretty big record in 1975.
Especially with a number 1
single. Would
you
think it would have come out with a number 1 single, that it would just get a regular CD release?
I think at this
Weird.
point, everybody's just going to have to satisfy themselves with these album collection series.
Now the
Those
other
are good.
Yeah, that's good bang for your buck. All right, let me look up View from the Ground real quick before we go on. Of course, it came out in '82, and that's another one that I've never seen. If there was a CD, okay. Scoop on this. Back in the day, you think '84 CDs are coming out. This would be a good CD to put on the market, but not everything at that time got released on CD. It did eventually come out on One Way reissue label in 1996. So it came out. There's 4 copies available. Look at that. One in the brand new and sealed. I'll be damned. Anyway, it did come out, but a lot of that America stuff, you never see it other than the greatest hits. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. We're on a tangent, but we're talking music. We're trying to turn you on.
Yeah. Giving you all angles, folks.
All angles. All right. Is it DCU up?
Yep.
Oh,
DC's
okay.
up.
DC's
All
up.
right. My next 5. When people hear you're a fan of America, the hardcore rocker crowd is always going to say, they don't rock. And the funk groove people are going to say, they ain't funky.
They ain't funky.
Well, my next pick is here to refute that for at least one song. I'm selecting Are You There from Harbor. It's got a bit of jazz thrown in for good measure, but there is a really funky bass line and acoustic guitar riff that runs through the course of this song. And you also get a searing lead guitar passage towards the end of the tune. The vocals also have like an odd cadence to them, but it works. This song is probably the most different than all the choices I made for my 10 picks. Just putting it in there to kind of highlight their versatility.
Would you say it's a bit yachty? Because I think some of this later stuff.
I don't think it hits me yachty at all.
Okay.
It's jazz tinged and it's got a funky bass. It's more funk jazz and then some really good hard rock guitar on the lead that goes to the outro.
Okay.
So I also wanted to kind of showcase some ladder material because I think most folks think they stopped creating new music sometime in the early 80s when they had the hit with, You Can Do Magic, as we pointed out earlier. But in 2007, they did an album called Here and Now. And this album is produced by Adam Schlesinger from Fountains of Wayne and James Iha from the Smashing Pumpkins. And I think they could have had a couple of hits with this album, but they just picked the wrong songs. I forget which one they chose or the 2 they chose, but one I would have thrown out there is Indian Summer from this album. That's got the same kind of vibe as Ventura Highway with that breezy, carefree feeling. All the staples of America are there on that tune, but they didn't pick that. But I will pick from Here and Now, A Walk in the Woods. And this thing is moody and it's breezy, if such a thing is possible. And also you get some really delightful whistling. This is the only top 10 pick I've ever done of a tune that's got whistling in it. But it's very accessible and it's really a wonderful track. And like I said, it's got some different aspects to it.
When I was looking at
you know what?
DC, go ahead, Grant.
Well, I was just going to say what that previous record. Well, we mentioned this. Heart.
View from the Ground.
No,
or Hearts.
Because I was, I thought, it came out on this, blah, 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 but it is on that original album series thing. So that's really kind of where you could get it now.
That's where you got to go. And you get like 5 albums here for a very reasonable price. A lot of groups have these collections out there.
Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead. I just wanted to throw that out, but I still have never ever seen it in the wild.
Not singularly, no.
That's interesting.
Anyway,
DC, I was going to say when I was kind of going through this Here and the Now, is that the album that's like ZZ Top's Fandango, half studio, half live. Is that this one? Or
Yeah,
is that...
you get one CD of new material, and then
Yeah,
there's a second CD of the live set.
Gotcha.
Okay, my next pick is a song that even many diehard fans of America dislike. Some hate it, but I don't. And what's not to like? You've got a great lead and background vocal mix, fantastic instrumentation, and as Grant pointed out, a wonderful bass line going all the way through the tune. What could it be? What could the hatred be all about? I think I know what it is. It's about the love of two muskrats, isn't it?
I knew.
What do you people have against rodent love?
Oh, it caused me to have a problem with my graphic.
Now, I get all the hate for the Captain and Tennille's version with all that keyboard muskrat cooing and orgasmic warbling. I get that. But listen to this version. And to me, it's top shelf in every way. And I wonder if people's reaction to this song would be different if the song was sung in French or Italian or Spanish, where you didn't know it was muskrats and what their relationships were all about. And you just concentrated on the musical aspect of it. Like I said, musically, and even the lyrics don't bother me, but I'm a little goofy that way. But I mean, musically, give it another listen, folks. Do not compare it to the Captain and Tennille version.
I can't do that, Captain.
Yeah, I can't do that. But this musically is really wonderful.
Do you think that there's some muskrats in the photo if we really look hard enough on this album cover?
Yeah, it's like a page out of Highlights magazine, hidden pictures. I mean, there's all kinds of muskrats hidden in all that foliage and such.
See, DC knows where it's at. Always good to see him digging the album cuts.
Well, thank you, George.
That's because DC's the man, of course.
Well, I got a lot of mileage. I got a lot of mileage here, folks.
He's 100 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
100 years old, and due to good genetics, I look barely over a day over 90.
John says Muskrat Love by Captain and Tennille was cool when you were 11 years old.
Yeah, well,
it's like listening to Disco Duck.
Yeah. John Patterson, Muskrat Love is still cool.
You heard it here on the Warehouse, folks. The American version.
But like I said before, all right, put on the America version and listen to the bass, the 6-string bass on the beginning.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Just listen to it for that and listen to it for the instrumentation. And, well, the vocal melodies too. You know what I mean.
It's all there. All the best of America is weaved into that song, but it just happens to be about lovey-dovey muskrats. Put that out your mind and just listen to the musicality of it and see if old DC ain't right.
You know what? You can. I've been looking for Bigfoot in the background. I always found that this album cover was kind of, it just struck me as odd for some reason.
Well, number one, they all look like they're suffering from liver failure. It's very jaundicey.
Jaundice.
Yeah, jaundice.
I think it's from the muskrats.
Well, the muskrats, who knows what was going on there.
Well, coming in at number 3 from D Rocker, Sister Golden Hair, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, can't complain with that choice.
D Rocker is a ranking machine. All right, keep going, DC.
All right, my last selection will be in the wedding ceremony, wedding reception category.
Oh,
and if B.M. Bolt is still here, his ears just perked up. This is just
to get married.
He likes the receptions and all that entails. This is just a heartfelt love song. It's called All My Life from the album Silent Letter. And
oh yeah, look at that.
The old DC has his moments, and this is just a beautiful sentiment. I could hear this in a wedding. I could hear this at the reception with the bride and groom taking center stage. And I also say it is a bona fide mood setter.
Oh, goodness.
And that's
Silent Letter, 1979.
Our work is done here.
Wait a minute. Let me look at
B.M. Bolt is still here.
We were mentioning Captain and Tennille. Let me look it up. Let me see if I can find this real quick and share it with the class.
Byron, put on All My Life for the Misses and thank me later.
I'm looking. Can I find it? Is it on here? Oh, it's the Captain, isn't it? Maybe I can't find it.
That's a good song. That's a good song, though.
I can't see it. I was going to find something
post
to share.
Yeah. The captain didn't treat Tennille very well, from what I've come to understand.
Well, I guess he was
very cold.
I think he was. He had something. He was kind of autistic to some degree.
Yeah, there's some of that, but boy, he just didn't treat. And she's a lovely, lovely lady.
Go. How big is that? Can I bring that up? Look at this. I'm just going to share this with the class since we're bringing up Captain Tennille. Not sure how this is going to project on the screen, but let's share this because John had a good. Yeah, let's just look at this real quick. Come on, let's enjoy this real quick. I think this is a pretty good album cover, and I think this does represent this 1970s very well.
Okay.
This.
Well. Look at the lovely Tennille there. She
does seem happy. I'm just going to say.
She put up a good front. And Grant, did you steal the captain's kind of his vibe with the wearing of the captain hat?
You betcha, DC.
If you're going to follow in anyone's footsteps, why not the captain from the Captain and Tennille?
It must be hot in that sauna.
Oh, good Lord.
But you know what's cool about it?
The word shower cap.
It's cool because Daryl Dragon is wearing his captain hat. He is a professional.
Mm-hmm.
So
what a guy.
Go. I'm going to put this back up because the thing.
This is another group. Why no consideration for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Good question. I don't know.
Seems like all these groups that I tout are on the outside looking in.
Was that your final pick?
That is my final pick.
All right, cool. Well, there you go. We're just hanging out here on a Tuesday talking America and looking at pictures of Captain and
Tennille and towels.
Yeah, I'll bring
I think
there it is again.
There you go. There's a little eye candy for you folks. Whatever way you go.
I'm not saying anything about it. I just remember I saw that and it took me by storm.
I think BM Bolt is throwing us a backhanded compliment with, I am starved for entertainment tonight. What?
Look at Webb.
What?
Webb's going.
Oh, she's more than kind of hot. She got like legs that just go on forever. Yeah, it's pretty cute.
He's starving for entertainment. Well, don't forget. Give Tony Tennille did a lot of background vocals for other artists and stuff. Don't forget she did a lot of background vocals on The Wall.
Yeah.
And come on, they could get anybody there to do background vocals, but they got Tony Tennille on.
That's right.
Thing.
Take that, all you Tennille haters.
Look at this. There's a lot. Oh
yeah, I agree with Bernie. Yeah.
Everybody here's a bit. Do I see nipple? There's.
Well, if it's the captain, he can keep his nipples, both of them.
I'm just saying that, a lot of these people in the chat, I mean, they kind of dog Muskrat Love and Captain and
Tennille. Someone say nipples?
And they kind of dog it a bit. But then again, look at how the nice compliments from Zane and Bernie and Webb.
Oh, we got a lot of fans of the Tennille.
There's a lot of fans, so it's good. So.
Will we be doing a top 10 Captain and Tennille show anytime soon?
Well, if we would, we'd have to have Schnee on because did you see that post that he had? He showed all of his Captain and Tennille collections. He's the only man on the planet that has the entire catalog of the Captain and Tennille on CD.
I believe so. Yes.
Wow.
Wait a minute, here we go. John says, time for a show on the Captain and Tennille. Did anyone see them play live back in the day? No.
But
don't forget, Daryl Dragon was a good keyboard player.
That's with the Beach Boys.
He arranged all that stuff. Mm-hmm. He would play with the Beach Boys. He wasn't no slouch. He knew what he was doing.
He just wasn't a very doting husband.
His brother was in the Surf Punks. So there you go.
That's a fun fact for you.
Captain and Tennille listening party coming to the channel. Maybe after I get out of parole. What am I in? Oh, I have a warning.
You're in double warning territory.
Some of us had a crush on Miss Tennille in the late. So Davey's saying that he probably had this up on his wall. Is what he's trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, part of it cut out. With Captain cut out.
I think I had mine up. It was just the captain.
Yeah.
How Blaine drummed on Love Will Keep Us Together. Well, I'm not dogging really the Captain and Tennille. When I was a kid, man, it was all over the radio. I mean, I loved Muskrat Left when I was a kid. Come on.
Who didn't like Tennille cooing, Do That to Me One More Time?
Farrah.
Come on now.
Wow.
Here we
that
go.
and Farrah.
Yeah, we should.
I was a Jacqueline Smith guy myself.
Really? We
Yeah,
probably
I
should check
preferred
out.
her.
We should probably check out the Farrah image real quick while we're here.
Oh, the classic poster.
Well, we'll see. Oh, let's just look at it.
DC, how many songs of America did you say you had on your playlist?
You know what? I may have effed up because I think maybe one got lost in the mix.
Is that what you had, Davey, on your wall?
It was in me and my brother's bedroom. It was the first thing I saw when I got up in the morning.
My friend, back in that when that came out, my friend's dad had it on the inside of his closet.
There you go.
It wasn't on the outside of the closet.
Nah.
It was on the inside. So
was that around the time that she was dating Lee Majors?
Yeah,
Probably.
she was married. She was married to Lee Majors then.
Yeah.
Web, there's your nipple. My buddy Don, when he went and he's younger, he's like 5 years younger, but when he went to kindergarten, he had a Farrah shirt. He wore that poster as a t-shirt on his
boy.
t-shirt.
Boy.
Yeah.
Well,
we had Jacqueline Smith poster. Was there one?
Yeah.
Just throw all the Charlie's Angels up there at this point.
Yeah, my brother and I had that Farrah poster on our wall. My mom never minded. It was a much loosey-goosey era. People didn't get uptight.
Oh,
just like my friend's father had a garage.
I don't think
and he'd have calendars with these girls posing with like tailpipes and stuff. They're in bikinis. They're on a beach holding up a tailpipe. No one cared.
I don't think she had a poster.
I don't think Jacqueline Smith did either, because I think I would have purchased that.
Like
my mom wouldn't wash my T-shirt of a cartoon beaver saluting, and it was said Beaver Patrol. She wouldn't wash that one. He did not like that.
Wait a minute, listen to this. John said Captain and Tennille played to almost 12,000 rockers at the CNE grandstand in 75. Wow.
Renee Samaid, I don't know who that is.
Oh no. Well, it is Farrah. My mom would not let me wear it to school. Probably not. Well, my buddy Don, he wore it to school. Back in the 70s, they didn't frown upon that. Now they would frown.
If I could find a time machine, I'd go back to that era in a second.
My goodness, Webb. It's true though. You had the poster, you had the shirt.
Attaboy. He had both. I know Webb.
Raquel Welch poster for me, yeah. Jacqueline Smith was a classic beauty. Let's just go. Yeah. Oh, here's something. Maybe this will be appropriate. Oh.
Just any photo of her will be delightful to finish things off.
Let's just okay, here. This is the okay. I got one. We'll just throw this up. There's not a lot. Well, there's a lot to choose from, but let's just share this. So
she's in a famous photo in a white bikini that you might be able to find.
Oh, that's not going to work. That's a different kind of file.
Well, there's the famous one. I think she's the one in the bikini with the Charlie's Angels with.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Well, they were all good looking.
I used to watch that show when I was a kid. Yeah. Anyway, we're just shooting the shit.
Any honorables there?
I'll just throw that up real quick for the listening in this. Just for someone, just something to look at.
Any honorables there, DC?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a ton that I could name, but if you've got a list right there, Eric, why don't you go ahead and
Yeah, I got
regale us.
I had all my love written down. I Need You
Oh yeah.
almost made my list there. I like the song Survival. That's a
Mhm.
good one. The Border. That's a good
Yep.
one.
I
And
think
I
that
like
charted. I think the border charted,
Yeah,
didn't it?
yeah. And I like their version of Page's song, I Do Believe in You, written by
Mhm.
Richard Page and Steve George from Page. That's I
I've
always thought
got those Pages CDs.
Yeah, I got the one. Yep. Yeah.
Caused my balloons to go off.
There you go.
I don't know if that's what caused my balloons to go off, or it was
the Pharaoh.
or it was this that caused my balloons to go off. I'm not sure. Might be this.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
So those are the ones I had written down.
All right, cool. Oh, that was a good poster. Oh, I can't look at this stuff. It just make me upset. Anyway, you good? Do you see anything else you want to? We'll wrap it up. We went an hour. We've shot the shit.
We're
had
good.
some fun.
We've done our due diligence with America.
All right. I want to thank the panel tonight. DC, of course, and Eric Hansen. God, look at those guys. They did a fine job. We had a Contrarians episode before this. That'll be up pretty soon. And tomorrow night, the live Contrarian show at 7 p.m. So I'll be over there on the Contrarians, manning the board over there. And then this week, I'm leaving to go on the 80s cruise. And I'll be gone. Nothing's going to be happening. Closing shop.
We're shutting it down. Young Logan will have to make sure he tightens everything up in the warehouse.
Young Logan doesn't work for me anymore.
Oh, he's gone.
Well, he's got his own thing.
I've been bumped. I would been bumped up to the front office. I don't normally go back there into the warehouse anymore.
He
left our employee.
He works somewhere with Logan.
Oh, well.
I mean, he works somewhere Sydney. I don't know what they're doing.
One of them guys.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, be back 311 suite ranking. Oh, well, I'll be back. Well, maybe. Will I be back? Probably.
Unless something unforeseen happens on the 7 Seas.
Well, something could happen on the 7 Seas. You just never know.
Become a roadie for a
Of course, she's dead, so I don't think it'll be her. Maybe
no, it won't be her.
It
could be Tony.
All right, we shot the shit too long. All right, gentlemen, we'll see you. Everybody in the chat, thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Tuning in, rolling their eyes at us.
Please
let us know below what your top 10 America tracks are if you like it.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll see you. Keep it clean, everybody.